Namaste Sitaram, Assalamu Alaikum and good morning to you my dear friends. As always, you tune into our weekly educational segment entitled The Beauty of Knowing, where we bring you a lighter version of Hinduism to help you, your family, our community, Canada at large, and by extension, the world who would see these segments on YouTube. We are privileged and blessed, and personally I thank you for helping us make this possible in 2014. I will be coming to you again for your continued support in 2015. And I ask and pray that during this time of Navratri and Diwali period, as we celebrate these religious functions, I'll be looking for 111 people this time to perform 111 Hanuman Chalisa. So during Navratri and the Diwali period, just as a mark your date, as a heads up, if you want to make a donation up front to 2015 sustenance of this program, here is a good reminder to think of it. $111 from 111 people, and we'll be performing a special rite and ritual, and we'll sustain our program for 2015. This morning the question was, what is Nandimukh Shraad, or what is Shraad relative to a wedding, prior to a wedding ritual, prior to a Hardi, Digdati or Matikor? And why is it essential, and why do we do it? Should we practice it, and what is the consequence of not practicing? My dear friends, recently we celebrated Pitru Paksh, and we had a segment on that. We talked about Navratri, and we had a segment on the Devi. Now many of us who go to a Hindu wedding, we know from the islands most of us celebrated for 3 days. We came to North America, and usually it's a 2-day ceremony. We do the Hardi, the Matikor, Digdati night, one night before the next day we do the wedding. We know because of certain limitations or whatever, we do that. And that's fine. People make choices. And Kal, Desh, Parithiti, place, time and circumstance, we have to abide with whatever is available to us. One of the pre-requirements of a Hardi ceremony, Hardi ritual, Digdati or Matikor night, is what we do a Shraad or Nandimukh Shraad. Why do we need to do it? What it is? What does it entail? And if we don't do it, what happens? The simplest form to tell you is that Nandimukh Shraad or Shraad prior to that ritual is to seek the blessings, the guidance and the permission to proceed, to add a generation, or to hand over your daughter, if it's a girls in your family getting married, to hand over your daughter to a groom, or dolaha as we say. The words dolaha and dolahin seems to disappear from our vocabulary. Dolaha is a bridegroom according to Hinduism. Dolahin is a bride according to Hinduism. So if you're handing over your bride or dulahin, then you have to perform it, and the one who receiving also has to perform it. The reason being, our generations that went by, the same way we perform Shraad when somebody dies, the children that your daughter have with her husband carries the name of her husband. So that is some of the changes that we have, and this is why we look at certain things from our scriptures. So when we do a Shraad, Nandimukh Shraad, we are asking for the blessings of our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents who died. We're asking them to grant us the ability to allow our child to entertain or to undertake this major sacrament called Vivah Samskar or wedding ceremony. And just so I make it clear, the rite, the Nandimukh Shraad or the Shraad ritual is performed by the parents of the bride or the groom. It is not performed by the bride or groom themselves. Most of us practice the bride or the groom, their parents sit with them for that Hardi or Digdati session when the puja ritual is going on prior to us offering the Hardi or Dai. So as I summarize this, Nandimukh Shraad, Shraad prior to a Hardi, Digdati or Matikor night is done by the parents of the bride or groom as a tribute to their ancestors who have gone beyond, seeking their blessings, their permission and their guidance to engage their child in matrimonial wedlock, as we say. and future generations shall have the blessings. If there were any consequences of any rites not being performed to the ancestors through the funeral, after rites, in regular petrification and all that, we ask and pray that we are forgiven as parents. So when we allow our children to enter the Vivasamskar, that blessing from them is granted unto us. And that is the reason why we perform Nandimukh Shraad or Shraad prior to a wedding. With this little bit of information, I hope it was able to help you, to the callers, and I thank you for tuning in and for supporting. I am yours truly, Mahantji Dr. Balliram Chadee, for the beauty of knowing. Jai Sitaram.